Hello, everyone. Hello, Atlanta Falcon fans. Hello, Atlanta Braves fans. Hello, Atlanta Hawks fans. Hello, Atlanta Dreams fans. Hello, Atlanta fans across all streams, all platforms, all apps, all connectivity. We are coming to you today to have discussions about our ATL Atlanta teams, and we have assembled an all-star cast. So with that being said, let me introduce the panel. On my right, we got the young kid, the up-and-comer, the challenger, Mr. Cameron Former. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good, T. Will. Appreciate you for having me again.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming. I'm hearing nothing but good things, man, from high places and high spaces. So you got to be doing something right, brother. Bottom right, we got Mr. Smooth Smitty 14K, Smitty Hall of Fame. Smitty, you can't do it better than I can do it because I've been doing it longer than you, damn it. How
Hey,
you
nah,
doing, Smitty?
I ain't in the Hall of Fame, man. I ain't even got nowhere near that. Hey, I'm still at the beginning stages, to be honest.
Okay, sir. Well, hey, I love that you're humble, but in my mind's eye, you're a Hall of Famer and you're a GOAT. So I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree, sir. And amen to the bottom and left, my guy, my A1 from day one, the brother I talk to every day, Mr. Chris Tip Moore, not only from A1 Forever Sports, but also Hawks Digest. And also, Smitty is like the architect of the Legion of Doom when it comes to podcasting. That's right, the 95 North crew. Hey, fellas, how y'all doing today, man? Y'all all right? Let's get to it.
Hey man, feeling
Yeah,
great,
we
feeling
hanging in there, man. We hanging in there.
All
Let's
right.
get it, man.
great. Talk
Hey,
about our
man.
ATL teams, man. It's a lot going on. We're in the news for some good reasons, some bad reasons, some subjective reasons. Hey man, but definitely wanted to get into like one of the hottest things going on right now, and it's right now going on in the NBA. The trade deadline, guys, it just passed, and I just really wanted to know your guys, what I'm saying, thoughts, being ATL fans, as far as the moves that the Atlanta Hawks made at the trade deadline, starting with the DeAndre Hunter going to the Cleveland Cavaliers trade. We traded Hunter, and in return, we get Karis LeVert, expiring contract. Also get George Niang, who's a power forward, but so it's kind of like a 3-point specialist. And then you also get the 3 second-round picks that are later in the years, like 27, 29, and 31. So I want to know you guys' thoughts. Like, what are you guys thinking about it? How you guys feel about it?
Um, I'll be honest with you. Uh, you know, uh, we got fleeced. Hawk got
Mm,
fleeced. I'm not even gonna lie.
mm,
Um, I will say this though. I'm happy for DeAndre Hunter. This is a guy who was on most nights the second option. Along with Jalen Johnson, who his injury is going to hurt the Hawks rather. DeAndre Hunter is having a career year in 3-point percentage. He's shooting 40% from, I believe, the field goal range, and also shooting 40% from 3-point range as well. And averaging 19 points a game. So you talk about, one of the reasons why the Hawks were, just a few months ago, in the NBA Cup, was partly because of DeAndre Hunter, along with Jalen Johnson helping Trey Young. And I don't know if y'all remember, but those conversations were had, uh, you know, those conversations that were had increased to, okay, can the Hawks be a dark horse to come out of the Eastern Conference? Can they be a dark horse to give Cleveland a run for their money? Can they be a dark horse to give Boston a run for their money? Because if y'all remember, 2 out of the 10 losses I believe that Cleveland has come from Atlanta. And
mhm.
2 of the losses that Boston, they have about 15 losses right now, but 2 out of those 15 losses of Boston came from Atlanta. And we
Right.
were talking about, yo, like
Even Milwaukee.
Atlanta, yeah, Milwaukee as well. Milwaukee as well. You look at New York as well. So we were having, conversation about yo, can the Hawks be the dark horse? You got Charles Barkley, on Inside the NBA saying that the Hawks are a dark horse. So, them losing Jalen Johnson for the summer, or sorry, for the whole season, for the remainder of the season, and he was a guy having a most improved player campaign, an all-star level campaign, consistently giving you 20 and 10 a night. DeAndre Hunter being that second, third option behind Trae Young. I hurt for the Hawks, honestly, and now, they can focus on, I don't want to say they can tank, they should tank, but at the same time, I don't really have them going very far. So I do think that they should, focus, make their priority the draft, and obviously free agency as well, and potentially be a lottery pick. But yeah, man, I'm happy for DeAndre Hunter. The man's having an opportunity to play for a contender, and the conversations about Cleveland winning it all, that's a reality. That could happen. And
Wouldn't that be something?
and I right, exactly. And that would be something. And I think, and Karis LeVert's a great player as well. And it's not to, disrespect Karis LeVert in any shape or form, looking at his story and his journeys as well. But I do think having, the way the NBA model is constructed, you got to have at least 3 consistent scores that average, that give you at least 15 a game. And Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, and DeAndre Hunter they were that trio to do it, along with Dyson Daniels. And I know I'm kind of, being long-winded with it, but I'm happy for DeAndre Hunter. I do think that, I wouldn't be surprised that if, the management would start having conversations about whether or not moving Trae,
Oh, it's coming. It's
you
coming, without a
think
doubt.
it's coming?
It's
Oh,
coming.
well, let me pass it to Smitty then.
It's
So
coming.
yeah, I'm curious to hear what you have to say, Smitty.
I was gonna add on to what you were saying, and Trae Young was gonna be my topic of discussion because as I heard Chris Haynes the other day on Inside the NBA or wherever he was talking about Trae Young not being happy in Atlanta after these last couple of moves, and could you blame him? And with Luka Doncic getting traded, that lets you know Trae is not off the table. And honestly, if they want to build this team the right way, Trae has to be the one to be the scapegoat. He has to go. And that's the only way they're going to get value in players, value in draft picks is to move Trae Young. But what would a Trae Young trade look like? That's going to be the key question, because I feel like you can build around Jalen Johnson and Ricochet if you bring in a proper point guard. But the only player right now that I probably would trade Trae Young for was 2 players. Chris already know one of them. That's Devin Booker in Phoenix. But 9 times out of 10, he's not going anywhere. The only other person outside of him is probably going to be Anthony Edwards. And I doubt if Minnesota would want to move him. You would probably still have to get him a couple of first-round picks and Trae Young to even move Anthony Edwards. So, yeah, I think Trae Young is on the table wholeheartedly. And honestly, it makes too much sense to trade him at this point, because you failed to build around him when you made the Eastern Conference Final, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just been all downhill, roller coaster type play from the Hawks. So now that you trade one of your best defensive players and the player that finally turned the corner in DeAndre Hunter, that lets you know big changes about to come with all these expiring contracts. This team may look totally different next year. Later this year, come November, they might look totally different. So
possible.
I just can't wait to see how they're gonna take on this offseason, because one thing about it, just like the Falcons, we just tired of seeing the same old record, man. It just keep playing over and over and over and over.
Right. T. Will, let me know what your thoughts, and then I'll go after you.
Well, I know we have the superstar cast on here, but I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. I mean, completely disagree. And here's why. Okay, yeah. I heard somebody say long ago that the worst thing you can do is fall in love with your player. Right? Let's look at this. Yes, DeAndre Hunter is having a great season. It took him 5 years to get here. Now, I'm not saying it's a flop. I'm not saying that at all. But at the end of the day, you got him on an uptick, on an upswing, and you got value for him. And let's be real, his contract was killing you anyway, right?
Did they really get value for him though?
I think they did. Yeah, I think they did. You got because again, Bogey wasn't giving you anything, right?
No, he
Well,
wasn't. Right.
I knew he was gone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hold on, wait. This is just DeAndre Hunter. You know, Bogey was still on the team.
I'm looking at it in total, right? And in totality, in the total package that we got back, I gotta say we won because we got shooters, right? What's the one thing we've been missing this entire year? The one thing, 3-point shooting, and we got three guys that can knock it down.
Gave that up.
We got 3 guys that can knock it down, right? I'm not saying that you got to hit every 3, but guys, we sucked. We were doggy doo-doo. We were donkey hooters. In 3, we were terrible. We were Cheeks McGee. Okay? So what did we get back? We got Terrence Mann, who can defend, who is flexible, who can guard guys 1 through 3. We got Neon, who can play the power forward, who can pop it and shoot it. Yeah. And we got Karis LeVert, who can create his own scoring. So, guys, I don't think it's a bad thing because I'm not convinced that Bogey was going to give you anything anyway. So we're really in the full scope of things. And no disrespect to Bodie. I'm sorry, Bogey. I'm thinking about Bodie 3000. Bodie 3000, wherever y'all know what you're doing. No disrespect.
What Bodie talking about you?
I know, right? He might be talking about me. I don't know. I'm just kidding, Bodie. But no, as far as Bogey is concerned, he had a great year in the Olympics. He had a great year last year, but sometimes you can only play so much basketball, and I think he's tired. I think next season, Bogey will have a great season, and that's good for him. But we needed him this year. He wasn't for us, right? He wasn't helping us. He wasn't doing us any good. So we needed to move him. We did. We got back some credible pieces that can help us win. I would not be surprised, guys, and you can say it. You heard it here first. If we go on a 5-6 game win streak, I would not surprise if we win 42, 43 games. Now, will we get to the finals? Probably not. But I do not think that times are as desolate, or as dark and hopeless and despair. I don't see that.
With all the moves that you just named, I still feel like we came up short because we still didn't get a big man.
I don't think
that's true.
I don't think it was a big man out there to get, right. You can look at.
They tried to go get one, but they weren't willing to give up the compensation to go get Vucevic.
Let me tell you something.
Vucevic.
I like this Hawks team. You know what? I'm gonna stop. Chris, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Smitty got me going now. I won't shut up. I'm gonna stop.
Crack the knuckles for this
go
one.
Ahead, Chris.
Hey, man, I bring out the worst of them. That's what I do.
Boy. No, but guys, okay, so now I gotta go piece by piece on this one. No, so in the initial, when I first seen the DeAndre Hunter trade and looking at the time, I was like, okay, I know there's still a lot of time left, but I'm like, this is the first move that they made, and this is what they do. And I was like, okay. Initially, yes, I was upset. And am I happy to see the player go? No, I'm not. Just because we have been waiting so long for him to have a season like this. But the same things that make you laugh make you cry. We have been waiting since 2019 for him to have a season like this. So I do understand on the business aspect of things what the business thought. Hey, this is the biggest his value has ever been since we've had him. This is the time to try to maximize on the opportunity, and I believe that's what the Atlanta Hawks were trying to do. Now, me personally, I would have waited until the offseason and try to see what happened, but I understand not wanting to take the risk of him getting hurt or him falling off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. Right now, he's a 6th man of the year, most improved player candidate giving you 20 points a game, might as well say. Now, you got to find a way to figure out where all the points are coming from, because you lost Jalen Johnson. That was 20 points a game. You already was trying to figure that out. Now you have another basically 20-point scorer that's out of the door as well. And now Bogey was only giving you like 9 points per game. I'm pretty sure one of these guys can give you 9 points per game, with more opportunity. And with the Hawks, I said, and I want to get Cam's thoughts on this, I said in a few minutes too. The whole thing is about the trade with Bogey. You didn't trade away the same second round picks that you got. Those are future picks, but you did trade, some little assets. Because remember, we don't have a second pick for Sadiq Bey. We gave 5 of those for Sadiq Bey, so we don't have those. So we used other people's picks, sending it out there to get Terrence Mann and Bones Hollins to make the trade go through. Now Bones, he was waived. David Roddy, he was waived as well. But you do have role players. You have good role players who can pretty much come in, and you're hoping for the same thing that you got from Dyson Daniels. It was a questionable call. A lot of people didn't expect Dyson Daniels to be what he is right now. And Dyson Daniels is going to mess around and be first team all defense. You can book it.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also giving you points as well. He's averaging almost 15 points per game. You wasn't expecting that from Dyson. But you get that because he has more opportunity now. If you continue with more opportunity, I think the Hawks are hoping that Terrence Mann can come here and play defense and also give you at least 11, 12 points. I feel like that's a win for the Atlanta Hawks, and my thing, you also getting better on perimeter. You're getting better on the perimeter. That's that you need. Imagine this, guys. Imagine when we see this. Dyson Daniels, Terrence Mann, Zachary Ricochet all on the floor at the same time on the defensive end. Good luck. I'm just saying, because Zachary, whether people realize it or not, he's a great defender even at 19, right? His IQ, and he can guard multiple positions. You see Zach and his switching ability is there. You know what I'm saying? This kid is 19. He's only going to improve. Dyson
he's been playing professionally for 3 years already. So
there you go. And also Dyson, he's a 21. He's only going to improve. That's what the Hawks are trying to put a team together. I hate to see Bogey go Bogey buckets. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I you know what I'm saying? I missed the player, you know what I'm saying, just because he's been here. That's what we're used to. But at the end of the day, man, we really still did them a solid. We did them a solid. Dre is with the Cavs, the number 1 seed. Bogey is with a team who's contending with the playoffs, who's contending in the West for the playoffs. We didn't just send them no trash places either.
Right.
So it's just, perspective. I mean, all I'm going to say is this. I'm going to give Landry the same grace I gave Terry Fontenot with the Kirk Cousins situation. And we're going to touch on that as well. And everything. I'm going to give him the same grace. It just has to work. It all has to work, because if not, in 2026, Trae Young may be out of here.
Right. I agree.
But what was
your trade in this offseason
about the Bogey trade? Because I know how you feel about Kawhi, and I know how you feel about the Hawks and everything too. So just that trade, how do you feel like that trade actually benefits both teams in any way?
I think it benefits, if I'm being completely transparent, because I want to put context on what you said about the Clippers and how they're contending in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The trade, it made Atlanta better because Terrence Mann is still very young.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at the Clippers and how they made the conference finals in 2021, the same year the Hawks made the conference finals in 2021, a lot of people don't really give the role players their due. Because if you look at Bogey, Kevin Huerter, I'm missing somebody. Bogey, Kevin Huerter, just to name a few, were very integral in the Hawks beating Philadelphia and making that series against Milwaukee very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And Terrence Mann, when they played the Jazz in 2021 in the conference semifinals, That was when Kawhi Leonard was out. So Terrence Mann dropped like 30 that game. And Terrence Mann was basically the reason why they got to the conference finals.
Yep.
And I think when you look at the Clippers, though, it feels like the Clippers got older as opposed to the Hawks getting a little bit more younger. Because when the Clippers gave up Bones, I'm thinking like, wow, this is a great opportunity for Bones, because y'all know Bones. Bones was in, he was with Denver. Bones was, coming off the bench, being a great 6-man, playing behind Jamal Murray. I'm like, oh, I mean, and he was balling in Denver.
I think he goes back to the Clippers, honestly.
He can't. He got traded away from the Clippers. That's the only, when he clears waivers, that's the only team he can't sign with.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
exactly.
Right. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
And I think personally, I think with the Hawks, they got younger, and you now have, it's like, and like Smitty said, I would not be surprised if they trade Trae Young, because you're getting pieces in return. Karis LeVert is still 28. Karis LeVert is having the best year of his career. He's averaging 10 points right now, but he's having career year in field goal percentage and three-point percentage. You're getting Terrence Mann, who's battle tested, who knows what it takes to be on a contending team.
Right.
You also get Georges Niang, who's an experienced veteran. You also, like I said, and Jalen Johnson's still coming back. Dyson Daniels is still coming back. So if you don't give up Trae Young, you obviously build around Trae and Jalen Johnson. And I think now, like with and Zachary, I keep forgetting Ricochet and Zachary Ricochet. And with the Clippers, though, the Clippers are obviously in win now mode because they got Patty Mills, they got Drew Eubanks, and obviously they got Bogey. Now, Bogey has only played 24 games this year, so I don't know how that'll look for the Clippers. And he's 32. So and when they went to the conference finals 4 years ago, he was 28. And if Bogey went to the Clippers after that season, then maybe we could still be. Maybe I would have said, okay, the Clippers are, they're still contenders. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing with the Clippers, though. Like Atlanta, they get in their own way. And a lot of us have tuned in the Atlanta sports, whether you're a Braves fan, whether you're a Falcons fan, whether you're a Hawks fan, whatever. We have a tendency, when things are going good, we have a tendency to get in our own way. And how Kawhi Leonard goes, that's exactly how the Clippers are going to go. But the irony is, when Kawhi didn't play up until mid-January, the Clippers were battling for 4th and the 5th spot. And that's in part thanks to James Harden and Norman Powell, who, in my opinion, should be an all-star this year. So when, looking at the team payroll, Trae Young is he's the highest paid player, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I'll take this a step further. And I know this is probably not going to happen. But I had a conversation with my brother and my dad a few years ago. This was like Christmas. This was Christmas of 2023. And we talked about a hypothetical trade between Trae Young and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Trae Young is from Oklahoma. He went to high school in Oklahoma. He went to college in Oklahoma. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I think the swap, it makes sense economically. And I think Trae, and I'm not saying Trae can't score like Shai. Before Trae started averaging 22 a game, Trae was averaging 27 and 11 in his sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Trae was averaging 28, 29, 30. Trae can score. Trae is one of the best scorers in the league. And the only reason, in my opinion, why he's not scoring the level that he can score at is because you had guys like Jalen Johnson and DeAndre Hunter who can get and create their own shots, while Jalen or DeAndre Hunter can also be a catch and shoot 3-point specialist. So in my eyes, Trae Young is just a lot more dangerous as a playmaker as he is a scorer. So if you put Trae Young on a contending team with a J Dub, who's also an All-Star this year, with an Alex Caruso, with a Chet Holmgren, with an Isaiah Hartenstein, with the Lou Dort, with the Cason Wallace, I'm Aaron Wiggins. That's 7 people right there, and I think you put Shea. You exactly like you put Shea on this Atlanta squad, and you build around. If Landry Fields does his job properly, and we saw and we got to give props to Sam Presti, the Oklahoma City general manager, who did his job properly and built around Shea. But I'm drifting off. But I say this: Atlanta, on paper, Atlanta's clearly building for the future, like Terry Fontenot is with Michael Penix Jr. But the thing is, how long can, and because Trey's been in the league, it's going on 7 years now. Going on 7 years now. And we're building around a player who isn't even 30 yet. And we haven't gotten anywhere. And it's not because of Trey. And it's not, and the Hawks' shortcomings isn't because of Trey. Trey shows up religiously. This is just the first time that we're seeing Trey actually have two complementary scorers in Jalen Johnson, who's out for the season now, and DeAndre Hunter, who's going to an Eastern Conference foe, who also gave you 20 a game, you might as well say. This is the first time where we saw the Hawks like, oh, wow, we're really seeing the Hawks, along with Trae Young, have help, where the help isn't averaging 15, 14 a game. The help is averaging 20, dang near double-doubles a game, and playing very versatile defense. So I like the moves. I think if Karis LeVert could just average a little bit more than 10 points a game, and I do believe he's going to have more of an impacted role with Atlanta than he did with Cleveland, because let's just be honest, Cleveland, Ty Jerome is him, and Ty Jerome is killing it. So I like the move. I think it impacts positively for both teams. But with the Clippers are a wild card. They're a wild card, and you can't. And I'm gonna be real with you. The way there are a lot more younger teams in the Western Conference playoff mix than older teams. And when I say younger teams, you look at the top 3 teams in the West. OKC, Memphis, and Houston. Younger, playing faster, playing quicker, got more bunnies than the Clippers. Right. Because James Harden had bunnies, but James Harden not what he was 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But
I listen to what you just said about the youth, right?
Yeah. And I think San Antonio is going to be that next team with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
We'll see. But with the Hawks, though, we are getting younger. You think about it. We're getting younger. We do have some veterans on the team, yes, but we are getting younger. You think about Terrence Mann, that's 28. That's what do you say? Karis LeVert is 28.
28, yeah.
He's 28, right? But you also have George Niang. I want to say Niang is 28 as well. 27.
Hold on, let me check. George Niang.
Yeah, he can't.
He's 30. He's 31.
Okay, 31. Okay, so you still do have a mix. If you look at it, we do still have like a mix of young guys, more younger guys, and we still have some veteran guys like Nance, like Capella still on the squad. And we're in the East. The East is weak. Even after all these trades, and even after that 7-game losing streak, we are in the 9th seed in the East, and we were still only 3 games out of the 6th spot after all of that. And then now I will admit, last night we needed that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Hawks. You know what I'm saying? They had some nice shirts and stuff. But but yeah, man, that game, it was so great because the fans needed that.
Yeah.
Fans needed that win last night because there's some that's on the fence about the DeAndre Hunter and Bogey trade. It's a lot of people in Atlanta that say we lost that trade and we got fleeced because these players are not better than the players that just left. And that's subjective. That's a great argument. I can't knock that at all.
But I think that boiled down to Chris. I think they're finally trying to give Quinn Snyder what he needs. We know
Yeah.
he likes to preach defense,
Right.
so that's what they went out and get defense to create offense. So if it works, then it works. If not, hey,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
won't
I
be here
gotta
long.
I
Go
gotta
ahead.
give Landry the same, grace I gave Terry. We gotta see we are getting younger. We have a leaps and we're in the East, like I said, and hey, we're only 5 losses behind Milwaukee, who was the 5th seed. I do
Right.
believe even after all these trades, I believe we got guys who can get up and down the floor, who's going to play the defensive end, who's going to get timely scores. I don't believe we should have anybody, and I'm glad. One thing I am glad that we didn't do is make a trade that's going to hinder Zachary Ricochet. The only person that
Agreed.
can hinder Zachary Ricochet now is
It's
Quinn
himself.
Snyder. No,
Yeah,
Quinn Snyder, by giving him minutes. You know what I'm saying? If Quinn
Hmm.
is giving him more minutes restriction now, Wemby had minutes restrictions too. But I'm just saying that going forward, without any obstacles in his way to stop his production or stop him from getting the ball and everything, feature Zachary Ricochet more. Get him
got
more
to.
experience. So next year he's even more experienced and even more better of a player. I believe you. I'm glad that they didn't make a trade that's going to stunt his growth. And we can possibly see what he can be too, man. I mean, the season is not over. I can't say the season. If we was in the West, I'll feel differently. I'm not gonna lie. But we're in the East, man, and the East. I say our worst case scenario is to stay in the 9th seed because, with all due respect, I don't see the Bulls leapfrogging the Hawks. I don't think the
Nah,
Yeah.
Bulls moves to the winning trade moves. I really don't. Now, shout out to Lonzo though. I mean, he got that deal. That was
Yeah.
great. That's a good basketball story. But outside of that, I don't see the Bulls leapfrogging the Hawks, and I don't see nobody really just running up. I know Toronto went and stole Brandon Ingram from us technically. So,
Technically, yeah. No, for sure.
but at the end of the day, they're probably going to try to throw a boatload of money at him, something we weren't going to do. We never wanted to pay Brandon Ingram. That's why we didn't trade for him when we traded for Dyson Daniels.
Hmm.
So just perspective on that aspect too, Gal.
yeah. Good points. Good points.
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
good.
Guys, can we take a look at on the right, you have what the salary cap was, which is 174 million.
Mm-hmm.
On the left, you got what I think it is now, which is 140 and 588.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. They got under the luxury tax. That was another thing too about cutting all this salary. They wanted to get under the luxury tax. That's why they take on expiring contracts, bro. We have so many guys on expiring contracts: Clint Capella, Larry Nance, Karis LeVert. We had Bones, but Bones we waived Bones. So
Yeah.
then you also got two-way guys like Keaton Wallace. That's on the two-way. You know what I'm saying? He'll be a free agent. You also got we waived Roddy, so you ain't got to worry about that. But you got Garrison Matthews, who's also on an expiring contract. So it's like I'm more interested to see what in the world the Hawks plan on doing in the offseason. In an offseason that doesn't have a lot of star talent to go get. As far as just signing, this offseason isn't fire like that. So you
Which,
got a lot
which,
of guys that you
which
don't
one
like.
of the which one of the G League players do you think sticks around? Because
Sure.
if we can get one of those guys to stick around, that could save us a boatload of money.
I think at least 2 guys can stay around. I think Plowden, I think Plowden is going to eventually take the role of Garrison Matthews. I think he's
I
going
can
to,
see that.
because Garrison Matthews again is on an expiring contract. I think Plowden, if he continues to develop, he can come in and be better than what Garrison Matthews was. That game against the Bulls was kind of just a sample size of what can possibly be good for the Atlanta Hawks. And then Mo G, you seen Mo G last night, 15 and 12, baby, 4 blocks. I'm sorry. I add those 4 blocks to contributing to winning because he saved 8 points.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We won by 5.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just perspective, you know what I'm saying, from things. It's just like with these young guys, I love whatever they're doing in College Park, because I'm fit to go see a game down there soon too. Before the season is over. Those guys come up here and they're ready, man. Look at Dominic Barlow. Look at Mo G. Look at Plowden. So look at those guys who have come up. They come up and they are ready. The moment is not too big for them. So the guys like that, they keep on developing. They're going to have a role with these Atlanta Hawks, and we can start moving off some of those guys we just kind of like been using as band-aids, like like respectfully a Garrison Matthews, like respectfully a V. Krejci.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But V, his height and his length may save him. But Garrison Matthews, I feel like he's going to get buried in the depth chart in the reserves now, because we have these other guys that you can come in, and I don't think you should let's limit their growth. If they can come in and play, they're going to do similar things like how they did last night when you seen with Mo G. I think you go ahead and you give the young guys more time to develop, more time on the court, and let's see what we have. We're building the foundation. I really don't buy too much equity into Trae Young really being disgruntled. I understand what Chris Haynes is saying, but until Trae comes out and say something, I'm not buying any real estate into it, because we still have a chance again to make the playoffs this year. You never know what happens when you get into the playoffs. Nobody's seen 2021 coming. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying. So you just got to keep playing basketball. You just got to keep playing, and you have until 2026 to do something. But you better do it.
But honestly, I don't see Trae saying anything, because he's already getting blackballed from the All-Star team. Nowhere in hell Tyler Herrero should have made it before Trae Young. So you're not gonna see anything from Trae Young. If anything, he just gonna go to management and say, "Can y'all find a way to trade me through the back door without the media even knowing about it?" And just like LeBron and Luka and Anthony Davis trade, make it like that, so we don't know until it happens. So this offseason, I could actually see that happening. And Cam brought up a great point.
Wrong LA team traded for him.
Yeah, Cam brought up a great point, man. I can see a SGA trade, because actually the way Oklahoma City runs the floor, that fits Trae a little bit better.
It does.
With what we have here in SGA, he's one of those point guards. He's a score first point guard as well, but at the same time, he rebounds and plays defense, and that's more Quinn Snyder style. So the trade would make a whole lot of sense.
It wasn't far-fetched. That's why I was sitting here listening to it. I ain't object to it. I mean, both of them are great players.
It makes sense.
And for the tempo, because I mean, both teams are high in pace. I mean, the Hawks are like the third highest rated team in pace.
Yeah, so they are.
They go up and down the floor. So and that's another thing too. Like, teams try to limit that from the Atlanta Hawks because they can't stand running with these young guys. When we get out in space, we've seen it. Next thing you know, the Hawks can go up 15, 16 points because they're getting out. They're getting gone. And then the teams, how they come back is they give those open threes. Teams get them in the half court, and they try to wear down. The Hawks try to be more physical than us. So it's just, I feel like we've added some size. I know we got a lot of role players. But, hey, man, sometimes you can't always win with stars, and sometimes you got to be able to win with what you got to attract guys
and I think Chet Holmgren will help Trae Young as well. Trae haven't really had a big man that he could depend on. And you talk about a guy, Chet Holmgren, who can beat you in the post or beat you from long range. That would benefit Trae a whole lot.
Oh, man, I ain't gonna lie. We could have got like a Chet Holmgren in ATL, even though I understand like his size, but he's a 7-footer. He's 7 feet, 7'2" or 7'3". And again, he can play inside and outside. And I'm saying one reason why Dallas lost that NBA Finals last year was the fact that Kristaps Porzingis played 2 games. And he could play inside and outside. Porzingis, even when he did go down with the injury, I said, well, it was cool because his damage is already done.
Yeah.
Right.
And you've seen it. They could not recover from that because they was already in the hole.
Yeah.
Dallas was. So I'm just saying, a guy that can play inside and out, some size, some height, that would be something that Quinn Snyder would be interested in. And you already see it. He's still a yucca shooting threes. You got Barlow out there who can shoot the 3, who started as the 4. By the way, you play him at the 4. we're trying to see, give guys opportunities and everything with JJ being gone, because we know when he comes back, we know exactly where he's going. And that's back in that starting position.
Starting lineup. Yeah.
But who can relieve him? Who can, take advantage of that and continue to help make us a better team? That's what it's all about. Like,
Right.
for real.
I agree.
Yeah, man. So, again, we'll see what happens with that, bro. I just don't believe it until Trey comes out and says something. He would literally have to say it, because I just don't feel like that, man. But
Well, no, Luka didn't have to see it, but the way he got in condition said it.
yeah,
So,
they said it for him. They said it for. Hey,
right.
it's so many funny storylines. It's funny, but not funny. It's like it's just crazy. Like, for example, the whole thing with AD. Oh man, I want a center. Then they traded him to somewhere where it is a center with Gafford. Then the whole thing. The worst thing that's happening though is Dennis Schroeder, because he said talking about
Yeah, bro.
oh goodness, saying about the slavery thing, about how NBA trades is like slavery, and that man got traded like 4 or 5 times. I was like, that's crazy. After he said that, got traded like 4 or 5 times. That's crazy. I said,
That's funny.
why y'all playing in this?
He'll be back overseas playing basketball before long.
That was crazy, man.
He
Well, I think
last too much longer.
I can see that.
Because Utah? Yeah, Utah. I think they traded him back to Detroit. So
Detroit.
actually, yeah. And Detroit made some sneaky moves, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Detroit, JD Bickerstaff up there, man. I'm actually gaining so much respect for them, man, because they're a scrappy team, and they've been down for so long.
And just like last year, they won the worst teams in the league.
Right. But hey, they coming up right now. They're in the playoff spot right now. They're ahead of us currently. We'll see how long that lasts, though.
Yeah, but you just got to have that front office that's willing to put forth the effort to put a winning team up, a winning product on the floor. And they got Cade Cunningham to build around. So
it starts from up top. It starts from up top, fellas. And speaking of starting from up top, I definitely want to know you guys' thoughts about the whole happenings with the Atlanta Falcons as we segue and transition, into some Falcon football. I gotta know you got, man. Just because I didn't hear T. Will's thoughts, and just because I didn't hear Cam's thoughts, I know me and Smitty, we already made about 2-3 videos talking about this crazy joker. But Kirk Cousins, man, Kirk Cousins and his comments on Good Morning Football. When you first heard it, and I'm gonna start with Cam and move to T. Will. When you first heard the comments, what were you thinking?
Why are you here? Like, as honest to God, like, why are you here?
They don't even know, honestly.
Oh boy.
Honestly, you think that the Falcons be in Cancun, they'd be on, Cozumel, Cabo, living it up with the family, with the wife, the kids. And the only thing you never expect to hear is Kirk Cousins making a live appearance on television, saying that, I had an injured shoulder, which explains my bad play. And you still kept playing. Now, I posted on my. Yeah, exactly. It's about that money. Now, I posted on my platforms that I said I didn't blame Kirk because I blamed Raheem. And I said that Raheem failed to report the injury, but in reality, I did my research. They actually reported the injury. He was just listed as limited for 1 day.
For 1 week.
And then for 1 week.
And then
Kirk goes on, he goes to Denver in the press conference and says, "Oh no, that's just a clerical error."
Mm-hmm.
I hate how Kirk had to lie.
He didn't have to lie. He just chose to lie.
He chose, you know what I mean? Like I hate that he had to choose that direction, because as I understand, when you sign for this amount of money and then your general manager drafts a very promising quarterback, and it's not just the quarterback that he drafted high in the first round. He drafted a very promising quarterback. And I could understand the emotions. I could understand you feeling blindsided, like, oh, like, I was supposed to be the quarterback. I'm supposed to, carry y'all to the promised land. But is Kirk? And this is a rhetorical question, but is Kirk really that good of a quarterback if you have to lie about having an injury in the event? Now, I'm just speculating. In the event that you didn't want Michael Penix to play because you knew that if he played, he would have taken your job. Are you that really good? Are you that great of a leader to lie about an injury just so you can show people, nah, I'm like Tom Brady. I may be getting up there in age, but I can still give you guys production.
Right.
And this is the reason why I blame Raheem. I blame Raheem because I in sports, there's this thing called a sunk cost. Basically, when you paid this athlete all this amount of money, the only reason why they're still playing is because you invested a lot of money in this athlete. It's like Paul George. It's like Paul George and the Philadelphia 76ers, right?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, no, like we're not gonna get it all that, but it's like that. Obviously, you're going to play Kirk. Gentlemen, we wasted a month of football games.
We did.
We wasted a month of football games because the quarterback lied about his injury. Now, Raheem, as a head coach, and Smitty, I want your feedback on this. Tip, I want y'all's feedback. T. Will, but I may not have played, I may not have coached. Isn't it the job of the head coach to not only make decisions by what they see, but also by what they discern? Like, you could physically see Kirk. He could not physically make the throws that they were asking of him.
Cam, I said that on the show the other night when me and Chris was doing, and I was up at midnight cussing because I see it. Raheem Morris sit there and watching me. He watched film of the previous game, and that Los Angeles Chargers game was telling.
And
we saw about 5 or 6 throws in that game. Some didn't reach, just like the pick six he threw to lose the game.
Yes,
I think a 5th grader could have threw a ball harder than that.
Yes.
And you mean to sit there and tell me that after that game you can't tell there's something wrong with his shoulder, his elbow, or whatever is going on after he was put on the report, and you still let him keep playing? You got to step in as the head coach and say, you're going to sit down this week and we're going to practice until you can prove that you can throw the ball with more velocity. And honestly, with those injuries that he's coming out with now, he doesn't play the rest of the season, and he was too much worried about his incentives and his contract to the worried about this team getting to where they need to be, and which was the playoffs, because those 4 games were making break. That 4-game losing streak ruined our season. And as I said with the New Orleans game, I knew a loss like that was psychological, because a team that loses 7 straight games and you got a winning record, that makes you lose confidence in the coach.
And you know what's funny too, because T. Will said it before the show went live. He said that, when Kirk was doing all this swag and surf and all that, and he made it seem like he had this connection with the city of Atlanta, it didn't feel genuine.
No, he had a connection with that bank account. That's it. That's exactly. Had a connection with
that wire transfer, right?
Exactly. Right. And those comments, it really, he said so little in like a 15 to 20 second time frame, but the undertone was so massive, because by you stating that, oh, I had an injury that was because of my bad play, you're basically stating 2 things. Number one, and Tip, and I think Tip said it before the show went live. Yeah, I had an injury, but I'm showing that Father Time it's not present right now. Father Time it's not here. I didn't show y'all what Kirk Cousins can really do because of my shoulder injury. And also too, it showed me another thing. It sounded like to me that it came across, and I'm speculating. This is not, I'm not hearing nothing from D Orlando Ledbetter. I'm not hearing nothing from nobody.
And
But
shout
it
out to
sounded,
Orlando, man.
yeah, shout out to D Orlando Ledbetter. But it sounded like to me he was low-key kind of shifting the blame to the staff. Because he's basically, because to me it sounded like, okay, I wouldn't have been out there. I wouldn't have been out there if y'all told me not to. Basically, y'all told me to be out there.
Right.
Even, you know what I'm saying? Like it just felt like he was kind of pointing fingers as to why the Falcons went on that losing streak. When everybody saw, everybody was at the games, everybody who saw the games, nah, Kirk, we may have issues with our defense, but bruh, the Chargers they're not even that good of a team for you to be throwing 4 interceptions against, bro. Now, obviously, you have that once in a, you have that game, that one game where, the team that isn't better than your team, they just beat you on your home turf. We've seen that before. But Kirk, you threw 4 interceptions, dog. You threw 4. That's on you. And it sounded like to me that it sounded like to me that Kirk, more so that Kirk did not want to lose. He only played because of his ego. And that's why I blame Raheem, because Raheem, you are the head coach. And if you didn't, and I'm not saying that you knew about the injury, especially after I've been enlightened on more, facts of the situation. If you knew about the injury, that hurts you even more. But if you didn't know about the injury, cool, fine. But you blatantly saw your quarterback struggle. And as a result, every press conference after press conference after press conference, when reporters were asking you, okay, are you going to bench Kirk? You adamantly stated that Kirk is our quarterback going forward. And you decided to wait until the third to the final game of the regular season to put Michael Penix Jr. in. And I give props to, I give props to Kirk Cousins. 6-3, the division was ours for the taking. But the moment your quarterback that you paid $100 M's to, the dude that's throwing bruh, in a month he threw 1 touchdown and 9 interceptions. If that is not telling enough, injuries, barring injury,
but
if that's not telling enough,
I take it deeper than that, Cam. If I'm Arthur Blank, I'm firing that medical staff as well. I'm firing that medical staff as well.
Wait. Hold on. Smitty, I don't mean to cut you off. Hold on. Of course they knew about it. Let's be real.
Yeah,
okay?
I think they knew.
Let's back up.
Go ahead, T-Will. Yeah,
they
go ahead.
100% knew about it. Okay. Now, what they chose to do about it is something altogether different. Have any of y'all seen Any Given Sunday?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Did you see how those doctors operated? Mm-hmm. They knew about it. The coaches knew about it. I guarantee you, because for him to, I'm gonna tell you how they knew about it. For him to be on the first injury report, that says there was a conversation with the player, there was a conversation with the coach. Right. And when they initially diagnosed it, they said, you've got an injury with the elbow, you've got an injury with the shoulder, it can take up to this long, or it could be, they typically give a range. Okay? So they knew about it. That's number one. And that's very important. Because you have to ask yourself, then if you knew about this, why would you not act? All right, let's walk down this line. My mama,
season ticket holders,
who was a pastor, okay, she told me you cannot serve 2 masters. What does that mean? You got to prioritize your objectives, right? All right, so when the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins, we heard for 6 months, oh, you signed it for $180 million, and then you draft Penix. You guys are a joke. Blah, 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 blah. The narrative, I truly believe, was in their heads, and they didn't want to have to be called to task and say, well, you signed Kirk Cousins for this amount of money, and he only gave you 7-8 games. Because let's be real, the
7
minute
wins.
you put Penix in there, it was over. And if y'all can't see that, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. It was over. Okay. I make this example all the time. My wife loves Shamar Moore. Now, let's say that in this strange world or whatever, Kim and I, we go back 30 years and we're just dating and we're dating other people. And Shamar goes on a date with Kim, who's my wife. Kim ain't coming back to me. Kim ain't coming back. It's over. So the best thing I can do is not let her go on that date with Shamar Moore. Kirk Cousins is thinking to himself, hey, these folks see Penix. You guys really want to know how bad it was? Why do you think there was this construction in the preseason? Because they didn't want y'all to see Penix.
Right.
Okay, let's call a spade a spade. Of course they knew. They also knew that the minute you put Penix in there, it's game over. And they didn't want to do that because, again, sometimes the Falcons
that's called pride.
Yes.
Bro,
and they care about the wrong narrative as opposed to winning, which is what we're all here for.
Right.
They didn't want to look bad. So what did they kept trotting him out there and trotting him out there. Raheem did the same thing with Koo. He did the same thing. Right?
Because they paid him all that money, man. They paid him that 180 mil. They want to continue to try to see if he can throw his way out of the injury that they know about, that they talked about, that they discussed.
You can't.
Because there's no way. We're in 2025.
You can't do that.
When a pitcher goes down with an elbow injury, are they able to come back during that season?
No, they're not. Thank you. You know what?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's how I know they knew about it.
Of course,
that's how I know they knew about it. I just feel like Kurt is backdooring everybody.
Smitty, say that again. What'd you just say? You said
when a pitcher goes down with an elbow injury, Tommy John or inflammation or whatever it is, they miss a significant amount of time. The baseball season is longer, so they have time to recover. But if you're a quarterback in the NFL, 2 to 3 weeks can end up determining your season.
Yes. Right. Yes.
And that's why he didn't want to do it.
Right. But my thing is, number one, of course they knew about it. They did know about it. They absolutely made the wrong decision because, again, you can't please everybody. And if it's one issue I have with Raheem, you can't make everybody happy. Your job is to win. You're going to have to make quicker decisions than that. You can't let Coop miss kicks for 7-8 weeks. Something's got to be done.
That's another example.
Can't do that.
He has a hip injury.
Right.
And you still got him out there kicking the football.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me you don't mismanage 2 people that you know is costing us games? You could have brought a kicker off the street to kick extra points and field goals.
Yes. Now I'm sorry. And I'm a back out. I spend a lot of time. Let's get back to Kirk. Now, Kirk is trying to get them to release him. That's the only reason why you make a move like this and you run your mouth again and dry snitch on everybody is because you want to make them look like liars and piss them off and get them to release you. Because if they release you, you not only get paid from them, but now you can have your agent negotiate with another team.
It's called
you don't have all of that. So Kirk is a very calculated young man. Kirk does nothing by accident, right? All of the let me get filmed at Waffle House, let me go and do this dance, let me swag surf. That was all contrived. And I'm not saying the guy's phony.
Let's bond with the city.
I'm not saying the guy's phony. What I am saying is that you don't make $340 million by not having a strategy. You get what I'm saying? So, that's it. I'm sorry, Chris. You go ahead, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah,
I got on one.
You guys were doing great, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Everybody's making their points. Kirk Cousins situation, man, started from day one. It honestly, I said it back then. I'll say it now. I feel like you should have never gone after Kirk Cousins. You should have never went after any of these older gentlemen at all. You should have went and just got you a younger quarterback from the beginning and go for it. My thing is, people talk about Michael Penix wouldn't have been there. Michael Penix wouldn't have been there. We don't know that. somebody would have leapfrogged you. Okay, well, let's just say Michael Penix is not there, right? At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure somebody would have still been there, even if it was Bo Nix, who, by the way, had a good season out there with the Broncos.
Anybody would have a good season in that offense, though, other than Sean Payton. Let's keep it real.
Hey, I'm just saying though. I'm just saying he's still a talented quarterback,
True.
regardless. But I just feel like you should have went with a young guy and then just took your lumps, because this season was such a huge expectations. All the places we weren't going to be, all the places we weren't going to draft, and we paid all this money to a quarterback that only got us 7 wins.
Yeah.
But he did get his Penix.
You was only one.
Penix.
Of
everything
course.
bad, everything bad that happens is not always bad. Everything bad that happens is not always bad, because at the end of the day, say what you want to say. We got Penix. However, we got there, kicking and screaming, shacking up last season. Guess what?
And guess what, Will? We still can't just hang everything on Penix, though. We have a whole team that we have to, look at. And guess what? This quarterback that we got cost us a draft pick that's in this year's draft. We only got 5 draft picks.
Right.
He cost us a draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Also, we still have this contract that he's trying to get cut from that we will be on the hook for, like we're Denver. We still have holes to fill that this guy right here is trying to force his way out, because it's better to trade him than to cut him. Cutting him is in his favor. Trading him is in our favor. But regardless, the whole situation is jacked up. And right now we're in a media circus that we shouldn't even be in for a guy that possibly should have never even been in Atlanta. Yes, we all was swag surfing. Heck yeah, because we're winning 6-3. The thing about it is, this guy was lying, and this organization, because they haven't came out and said anything to defend themselves as of yet. When did they do this? After Kurt did the Good Morning Football.
They can't come out and say anything.
Yeah, they can't do it.
They can't.
Listen, let me tell you
Shame.
something. Let me tell you something. If it's not true, I'm gonna come out and say something, okay?
They're not gonna do it. They are not gonna
do it.
They're not going to do it.
You want to know why they won't do it?
Because
you want to know why they won't do it? It's in writing that it happened.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Writing.
That's my whole point.
It.
That's my whole point. That's my whole point. It's just like, it's already out there, and you already know that these guys knew about this quarterback, and they just really just wasted our season. Penix should have been in there, but the thing about it is the pride, the money. Let's see if we can get our return from our investment some kind of way. You were so much worried about the money, you forgot about the season.
Right.
You forgot about what we were fighting for. You forgot that we was trying to get a winning season. You forgot that we were trying to get to the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. You forgot the fact that we were trying to be a contending team, and the best players are always supposed to be on the field, because we always draft BPA, right? So why ain't BPA on the field?
You treated us like we were soft. You treated us like we were spineless. Man, we got. CMB. No, I'm kidding. But you're right. You're right. You're right.
I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, my thing is, that's the mantra that we live by the BPA thing. The BPA was Michael Penix Jr., and you guys knew that from the beginning. But guess what? You had already paid Kirk Cousins, so it was like well, Penix is better, but we have to start Kirk Cousins because we already don't pay them. All right, we got to go through this now, y'all, because we're already in it. And now, at the end of the tunnel now, this man cannot be in an Atlanta Falcons uniform any longer. He knows that. That's why he went over and said those comments. There is no way on God's green earth this man can enter March on this team. There's no way he can wear
he'll be gone. He'll be gone about 2 weeks.
Backing up Michael Penix, because we already know that's not what he wants to do. We seen that back in the Washington Commanders game. I keep bringing up this point because it was so surreal for Kurt to have that helmet on, to be in a place that drafted you, but to be in the same situation behind a first-round talent that can make you a permanent bench player. you're back in that situation because you was in that situation with Robert Griffin III. That was so surreal for you, and you just couldn't believe it. And then it clicked. I'm finna get these jokers. They think they can do this to me. I'm gonna drop a dime. I'm gonna drop a dime on these. Y'all ever seen Belly? Yeah, I'm gonna drop a dime.
Going down. Everybody going down with me.
Eating a banana. I'm gonna drop a dime on this one like that. And he dropped a dime on us. The Falcons about this. He just backdoored everybody and just said, yeah. I never forgot how to play quarterback. I can still play quarterback. Hey, I can't help the Falcons or any other team if I'm not healthy. Come on, y'all, man. These folks out here playing in our face, dog.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't know that I would cut him. I might make his ass sit on the bench. I might. I'm a Scorpio, so we're spiteful. I'm halfway. I'm halfway entertaining it. Like, all right, Kirk, that's what you want to do. Because one thing Kirk is not gonna do, if you put him in a situation where he's got to be here, he's not gonna do that. Because guess what? Now you're messing with your stock.
Then he got a no trade clause that he can pick where he can go.
Exactly.
My thing is, we can try to trade Kirk Cousins to every team in the NFL right now. If he say no, guess what? It's a no.
You're right. But
that alone should have they should have looked the other direction, because if somebody give you a no trade clause, 9 times out of 10, you young, you know you're gonna be around for a while. You don't do that to a 36-year-old quarterback.
I'm just like, bro, why is Bradley Beal still with the Phoenix Suns? Because he has a no trade clause, and he told them he did not want to go anywhere, and wherever they tried to send him, because Washington tried to get him back, and the Atlanta Hawks were even looking into him. He said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in Phoenix, and I'm finna make this money. I'm not finna take any kind of risk of anything messing any up my check. I'm staying right here. That's what a no trade clause can get you.
But a 36-year-old quarterback, you don't do that. That's common sense.
Yeah.
I went to a totally different sport.
On most quarterback contracts now, it's pretty much standard. It's like in baseball, the opt out. The only body that doesn't do no trade clauses are the Braves in baseball, but it's pretty much, you know what I mean. In football, for a quarterback, not only do you get the $60 million, you get the no trade clause, because that's just standard package.
I would have stepped back from that one. I'm sorry.
And all y'all come back, man. I'm on the big screen too long. Come on.
Oh, my bad. Okay,
You the host.
My bad. Hold on. I'm sorry. All right, my bad.
Hey, all man, right. Make me feel like y'all in on the conversation. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking
about. Okay, yeah, my bad, man. My bad. Nah, but I mean, honestly, I think Kirk has shown that he is a sinister dude. You know what I mean? Like, because if you had any regard, Kirk, you don't snitch. There's certain things you don't do.
He will. Kirk got that book. Kirk got that 48 Laws of Power.
He probably does. Right? He probably does. But to me, like, this is a move, and I'm not going to characterize it, but you know what I'm saying. You know, there's a 5-letter word. This is a that move to come out here after you were in on the lie. You know you were in on the lie because you were the one who said it was a clerical error. And now after the season, you're going to come back and say I was hurt, which you don't have to, because your agent can say that to teams. You don't have to go on national TV and make the Falcons look like liars. You don't have to do that. But you did.
Yeah.
And what that says to me is, when you were talking all about that swag, sir, that was phony. Because if you had any regard for this franchise, who did give you this contract, if you had any regard for this franchise, Kirk Cousins, you would not do that. And shame on you, because you know exactly what you're doing.
Right.
You are doing this trying to get released. But Kirk, I'm telling you, the same folk you see on your way up are the same folk you see on your way down. And this is going to come and get you, Kirk, because this ain't right. This ain't
like
right.
I said too.
Same right.
Like I said too, if I'm another team, I stay away from that, because
Right.
people like that will mess up your locker room.
Yes, they will. Well, what they will do is you can't trust them.
Oh no, I said that too. I said that the other night.
You know what I mean? A man, look, Scarface, all I have in this world is my word, right? And if I can't trust your word, I can't trust you.
I can't trust you as a person.
Right. Chris and I have conversations all the time. Chris say, hey, I'll call you back. Chris call me back. I say, Chris, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. But if I can't trust what you say, no, I don't want you in my locker room, especially as a leader.
Yeah.
This is what I'm looking at. Is as a leader of a franchise, Kirk Cousins, you did this. You betrayed the trust of every man in that locker room by going and do that, because other folks still got to be there. Now, I'd be very interested to know, how do the players feel about it? But I feel like this is the real Kirk Cousins. Yep. In other words, whatever I got to do to get to where I need to be, I'm gonna do it.
Honestly, if there are two things. Kirk, if you want to leave, just say that, bro. Like,
yeah, we could have had a conversation.
You know what I mean? Like, exactly. Like, just have the conversation. If you want the Falcons to grant you release from the team, you're a professional. And a lot of times when we look at these professional athletes, yes, they are professional regarding their skill set, but this is a business.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. When you have to act, I get it. You have your CEOs and your managers, and I get all that. Like, they may not like you as an employee, and that's cool. I get that. But I a lot of people like to say, Michelle Obama likes to say, when they go low, you go high. And then I have some friends that say, yeah, when they go low, I'm going straight to hell. Kurt, don't be that guy.
Right.
Don't be that guy, Kurt. And what's happening is that in your admittance of you saying what you said, how you lied about your injury, you have now, like T. Will said, you are betraying the trust of people around you. Mm-hmm. And if I'm all these, and one of the most talked about teams, colleagues, exactly, and one of the most talked about teams that could potentially get Kirk are the Cleveland Browns. And if I'm the Cleveland Browns, who, by the way, they're dealing with their own trade, nightmare in Deshaun Watson, because they giving this man $230 guaranteed.
Yeah.
If I'm any general manager, I'm not saying to not get Kirk, but I'm taking note of that. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing that. Mm-hmm. Kirk, a grown man. Kirk, you know what you're doing, bro. Which is why I say, if you want to leave, put in your 2 weeks resignation and just say, I'm going to leave the team. Now, obviously, like what Chris said, right? If they either release me or if they cut me, it would be worse on the organization. But if we trade him, right, like, it would be better for us to trade him than to let him go for nothing in return.
Man, I take a 7-round pick for Kirk Cousins at this point.
Exactly.
You have to get that contract off the books.
Exactly. You got to get that contract off the books. But Kirk, this is deeper than the sport of football. And I know all of us as Falcons enthusiasts and to Falcon content creators alike, we see, yes, you lied about it. You're a direct reason, one of the biggest reasons why we won on that 4-game losing streak, but your play still got worse over time. This is a professional setting. So by you going on national television and lying, and you're exposing the lie that you were so adamant about all season long, you are now betraying the trust of your coaches. You are betraying the trust of the general manager. You are betraying the trust of the fan base. But more importantly, you are betraying the trust of the brothers that you lead every single Sunday out of that tunnel. Whether you're home,
Kurt showed up who he was when he got here. So we can't be surprised.
And what
It's
and
no
like
surprise.
you said, Smitty, like my mom always said, when somebody shows you who they are,
Believe them.
Believe them.
you better believe them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to think that Kirk is this bad person, but Kirk, you gaslit us, bro.
Mhm.
You was going in Denver saying, nah, that was a clerical error. Nah, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. But in reality, the situation was a lot worse than what it appeared to be. And you had these Falcons reporters and these fans thinking, Kirk that bad? And then it turns out you was injured all along, bro.
Mhm.
And so if you are going on Good Morning Football, and if you are going on national television admitting to your injury, if you're doing that to force your way out of Atlanta, bro, dude, don't be like Jimmy Butler. Please don't be like Ben Simmons. If you want to leave, just leave.
Just leave,
But
man.
I
not only with the
understand.
shoulder and the elbow, his Achilles still wasn't fully healed.
And here's the thing, Smitty. I don't think it was either. Because the way Kirk was scrambling, the only time I seen Kirk scramble this season was when it was National Tight Ends Day and they went to Tampa Bay and they beat Tampa Bay, and Kyle Pitts had arguably or the second best regular season game this year before they went to Washington, and Kirk was doing 25-yard scrambles, and I'm like, oh,
Hey guys, I'm about to drop one on y'all because the more and I'm a Scorpio. Okay, we are very imaginative. So just give me room.
Okay.
You can believe it or not. You can agree or not. My feelings will not be hurt. But this move by Kurt reflects a level of pettiness that even I am impressed by. And for those of you who don't know, Scorpios are probably the most petty people on earth. We really are. I can say it because I'm one of them. It makes me feel like, and if I'm wrong, okay, but it makes me feel like that little accident that cost us a 5th round pick may not have been an accident.
Really an
Oh
accident.
no, that was
You know
planned.
what I mean? Because let
That
me
was
tell you
planned.
something. Let me tell you something. If I'm Kirk and me and Raheem talking, I say, hey, I'm leaving Minnesota because they drafted somebody. I'm looking to be here for a team and really finish my career. And you signed me to a 4-year deal, even though it's really 2, but it's a 4-year deal. And then you go draft my replacement. I might be a little pissed off.
But wait,
I might be a little passive aggressive. So you know what I do, right? I go, because let me tell you something.
I'm just saying, wait a minute, was that after did we lose we lost the draft pick before the draft, right?
No, we did not. I don't think we did. Wait, did we? I don't
That's
think
what
we
I'm
did.
saying. Remember the press conference? Remember we brought him in and he had his little press conference and all that stuff like that. And then the
Yeah,
interview.
that was before the draft.
That was
Was
before.
that?
that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this
All
Joker.
right. All right.
But at the same time, he still came in fraudulent. He still came in flagrant.
My conspiracy theory is shot to hell, but I'm like, that is just so petty for you to get on Good Morning Football and be like, I was really like, because you made Raheem. Remember, Terry was in a interview saying, no, he's not hurt. So
Yeah.
now you made your coach and your GM look like Ass Cheeks McGee, and it's got to be intentional. And let me tell you something.
Everybody look like liars right now.
Right. It'd be different if this was a second string safety. This is a quarterback. This guy has the nuclear codes to your franchise. Get this man. He got to go.
Well, that's what I'm saying, bro. Just like this is
backdoor.
This is what you call backdooring somebody for real.
Yeah.
Because you knew about what's going on. Okay, we're gonna try to keep your legacy going. We're gonna try to keep your face. You know what I'm saying? But we know that you're not all up to par. And then you come down and you backdoor him down there. Then you switching shirts. You taking your Falcon shirt off, trying to put a black shirt. You don't want to be seen because you know what you just did. So it's just like, bro, I don't even want to be seen because you know
big league. Didn't he kind of big league D-Led?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So
His bodyguard pushed D-Led away.
D-Led was trying to get the scoop because the Good Morning Football had just happened the day before. So now D Orlando, he sees Kurt. He trying to go over there, catch a little word. Kurt was like he didn't want to talk to the media. Now you don't want to talk to the media. But anyway, Kurt didn't want to talk to the media, and he had his personal guys around saying, "Hey, respect this space, respect his wishes. He doesn't want to talk." And like I said, switch out. He had a gray Falcon shirt on. He took that off and put a black shirt on, and I said, just trying not to be recognized. I'm like, that's crazy, bro. I'm just saying, like, come on now.
So guys,
Diabolical.
How he moving?
But let me answer this question, because like Kirk is really starting to encroach asshole territory. Give me your top 4 Falcons assholes ever. And I got 4 in mind. I at least got 3. Give me your top 4 Falcons assholes.
I plead the 5th.
All right, I'll do it for you. Number 1 on my list, Bobby Petrino, for obvious reasons.
Of course.
Asshole, left us in the season, left us for another job, just creep. Number 2 asshole, June Jones. Now that might have been before some of y'all's time, but June Jones was an asshole. Nobody liked him. Now he had a great arm. Nobody wanted to play for him. Okay. And then yeah. I can't think of who number 3 is. But number 4.
Give you a couple. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Number 4, it's got to be Kirk Cousins, man, because that's a dick move. Like, so you're gonna put on another shirt. You're gonna take off your bro. Get it. Like, at this point, you're damaging the brand that is the Falcons. Yeah. Cut 'em.
I got 4 for you. I'm going with your Bobby Petrino. That's all. Bobby Petrino gonna be number 1 just because that right there was just the ultimate, right?
Yep.
But also Kirk Cousins is right up here for number 2 for me.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins number 2 for me. Number 3. Wow. Number 3, Marcus Mariota.
Yes. Thank you for that. Quit on his team.
He quit on the team and just
quit on his team. You gonna play Ritter in front of me? I'm out. I'm injured. Yeah, make up whatever you want to make up. I'm out. Hell no, I ain't coming back.
This dude was breakdancing in the middle of the field. Who does that?
Right. And number four is gonna surprise y'all.
All right.
The Smith family.
Oh, Rankin Smith?
The Smith
family.
What? Nah, why is that a surprise? We know they didn't want to win.
I don't have enough stones to call them assholes, but I will say that they made winning very difficult. Yeah, I don't have enough confidence to call them assholes. But what I will say is they didn't want to win. They just wanted butts in seats.
Y'all forgot somebody, and I'm surprised nobody hadn't even said it.
Who's that?
4. Go ahead and take us out.
Kyle Shanahan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, see, now if you're gonna go there, then you can.
I kind of.
I can see it.
Yeah, you
I can see it.
He threw the Super Bowl. He threw the Super Bowl.
If it was 5, if it was 5, for sure.
Yeah,
I can see it.
You're right. Oh man.
And really, you can put Kyle before Mariota. You can put. I still can't put him over Kirk though. I mean, I understand it's the Super Bowl, but just back
Kirk, yeah.
It's just that I just don't even live by that.
Kirk's an asshole, man. Everything that Kirk's an asshole. Okay, I said it. I'll say, Kirk, you're an asshole.
But we were hearing rumors about that before he even got here.
I didn't hear that. I heard that he could be inconsistent. I did not hear the asshole rumors. I wish I would have. I did not.
I read
it. I did not. That's something, man. That's something. Damn. So what's the hit if we cut him, right? If we cut him after June, we save 10 million, but what's the hit this year? Anybody know what the cap hit is if we cut him?
40 million.
40 mil. It's gonna be 40 mil. I mean, you go ahead, Smitty. You said what now?
40 million this year and 25 next year.
Yeah.
So Michael says
Wow.
Julio lied to get paid.
See now, fellas. Now I'm ready to have a top 10 Falcons a-hole. You know what I'm saying?
Bye. Bye.
Because
Bye.
Julio, him on that Shannon Sharp show that time, that was pretty big
Nah,
too.
Julio
You know,
got that way when he started training with T.O. because T.O. is an asshole.
Yeah.
And T.O. warped his mind, probably got him thinking about how much money he could get paid or whatever. But that was T.O.
Yeah, but we know, like me and Chris talked about Julio hamstring with turkey bacon at that point when he signed that 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
He could barely walk up the damn steps.
Robert Blackman said, "Don't do it, A1." He said, "I don't even want to go back down memory lane."
Oh man!
Robert said,
"Look, I don't know that I could think of 10. I don't know that I could think of 10.
Oh, we got 10. We got 10.
I don't know that I can think of 10, man. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, we might have to interview some of these guys, man. Like the guys
I don't know if y'all want to go down that route.
Yeah,
I'll give y'all another one. I'll
Who?
give y'all another one. Mr.
Who?
Hostro, Eugene Robinson before the Super Bowl.
Oh man! Oh wow!
Hey, I could go on. I could go on all day.
Wow.
You know what I said?
I heard about
Hey,
Eugene, man.
You know what was sad about that? Like before that game, that all that especially when they won the NFC Championship, he was like, "And the Lord, and Jesus, and God, and God." And man, when they showed his face on there, I was like, "No, not him, not him."
But you got to think at that point, Eugene had been around forever. He didn't care no more. He gonna go out and have fun the way he want to.
Damn.
He wants to in the Super Bowl.
I guess not.
I guess who gave up the game? Guess who gave up to play that? Guess who gave up to play to turn the game around? Eugene Robinson.
Yeah.
When Rod Smith burnt him deep.
You know what?
I mean, I'm just saying, he just came out of a cell. I knew he wasn't up to par.
Robert Blackman's like, I can keep going.
Yeah, we can keep going. He's like Jeff George.
Craig Johnson said Eugene won the Christian Leadership Award too. Wow.
That's
that's
crazy.
I almost said something stupid.
He had a bad moment, man. He had a bad moment.
I can't see it.
Man, listen.
He had a bad moment. Man. God.
Is that what it was? A bad moment?
He had a hey, look, man. The devil comes when you're weak and when you're low and when you're empty. All right. So,
but he should have been high. He was going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean low in other ways that I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying, Chris? Stop trying to stir this thing up. You know what the hell I'm saying? Stop it right now.
I ain't right.
You know what I'm saying.
Right. My bad, y'all. I ain't right.
You know what I'm saying.
I ain't right.
Oh man. Hey, what about an NFL? What about an NFL all asshole team? So
we can make that too. I promise you. And we're gonna have a couple Falcons on it. You know?
Is AB on that team? AB gotta be number one on that team.
Yeah.
He gotta be number one on that team.
Is he player coach or what we doing?
I don't know. He gotta be number one on that team, man.
I'm like,
he got to be number one.
That's crazy though, y'all, that we really can sit here and think about 10 or more different players, instances, plays. We can think about just so much that has happened. We've been through so much as a fan base, y'all.
Really have.
Worse than what you talking about.
Oh wow.
God, I didn't know. And then what they say, and the beat goes on. Kirk Cousins just adding to it with his joke. Man, this joke. Yep, Falcons top 10 jerks.
Yeah.
There it is. We're gonna make that show so good that thing may get picked up by NFL.
Oh wow.
NFL films.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. The all asshole team. At number 38, Joey Kowalski.
Bro.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Hey, whatever, man.
Hey, I'm gonna say one, and I'm gonna leave it alone. And it's gonna be real controversial. I don't want nobody to come for my head though, because I'm just adding to the conversation. But some people, I believe, would even add Michael Vick to that list.
Now, all right, I'm not gonna say that.
That's tough.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not.
I'm saying some
Now,
people would.
I
Not me.
understand. Right? No, I get it. I understand that Mike reached a certain level where he was frustrated and really focusing on the wrong things. But Mike, to me, has always shown leadership. Mike is a good soul. So I gotta like he may have had some bad moments, but I wouldn't call Mike an asshole. I wouldn't. And maybe maybe I can't be objective. Maybe I have too much love in my heart for them. I just can't call him an asshole. Like he may have been difficult.
I got mad love for Vic, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Can't.
I had 3 of his jerseys. I had the red one, the white one, and the black one. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I agree with Chris to a certain extent, but at that point, I feel like the NFL had everything to do with what happened with Michael Vick.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because you got to think Mike Vick was getting bigger than Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. You know they weren't finna have that.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's quite unfortunate because he definitely was getting bigger. He was on the Madden cover. You know what I'm saying? And
he had the biggest contract for a quarterback at that point.
Yeah, that 10-year deal.
What was his alias when he came back? Ron Mexico when he got caught on that.
he got caught on that water bottle.
Is your name Michael Vick? Nah, it's Ron Mexico. Still, man, I can't call Michael Vick.
Whoever designed that water bottle, they were genius. How you twisted that whole water bottle?
10 years, 130,
and the water sitting at the top, and water
that was unheard of.
But the middle was open.
STF 3008 or whatever says Vic. I'm not gonna call Vic Beasley an asshole. Now he wasn't a great player because I don't think Vic wanted to play. Vic wanted to preach.
He had one good season.
Yeah, he had one season.
But I'm not.
He sure wanted to preach because
you could even say, all right. So you could even say Jeff Ulbrich then, because what happened with Takk McKinley?
It's true.
That's true.
I'm just saying,
problem, man. Takk wasn't an asshole.
My thing is, you could have had TJ Watt, somebody who's still playing, somebody who's still a dominant force right now. Takk McKinley, I got to make sure that I don't go to the grocery store and bump into him in the produce section.
Bye.
Working.
Stop it. Stop. Look,
that's crazy word. The produce section is crazy word.
I'm just saying.
You did not say that. Oh my God, Cam, you did not say that. You did not. You know what? Unnecessary roughness on Cam.
Hey, man.
Low key coming after Takk McKinley for working. Man, I ain't even gonna say it.
15 yards
on Cam. 15 yards.
I would
next to the avocados.
And now if I was Takk McKinley, I wouldn't want to work it. I wouldn't work in the deli next to him with a butcher knife. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know.
And just like, like Raymond Collins, stall me out, Karen. Like Raymond Collins was saying, man, Vic was immature. I believe Vic had all the wrong people around. But people will add him to that list because of how big he had become, was the face of a franchise, got that 10-year deal.
But think about it, Chris.
People were mad when he got that 10-year deal.
If you're 26 years old with $130 million in the bank, you 26 with $130 million?
Right.
You know what I would have did with $130 million 26?
He got his own shoe out. He got the jersey sales. Vic had everything going for him. And
I probably would have been an asshole at 20. I probably would have been an asshole. I probably would, and my wife would tell you guys I'm an asshole anyway, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, at 26, $130 million. Excuse me,
at that time,
that is fuck you money.
That was crazy money.
No, that is fuck you money. That is fuck you money. So
yeah, and Vic had commercials too. Remember the shoe? Some you all over the Michael Vick experience.
The Michael Vick experience.
The roller coaster that I wish was real. And like,
all right, so hey, let me ask you guys this. let me ask you that. Let me ask you guys this: with all of his accomplishments, but with all of his talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was his career a failure, or no, or both?
To my Vic,
Yes.
I feel like he didn't reach his plateau. I feel like it could have been better than what it was. I do.
I feel like he has one of the better redemption stories in the NFL history because we seen what he could be under somebody that was willing to take time to coach him to be a quarterback. Because under Andy Reid, he was just a totally different person. He had that guy to look up to as a father figure. He had that guy to steer him in the right direction. And not to mention, he had guys on that Eagles team that, talked to him, help him change his mindset. And he came back, played football about 5-6 more years. And, it was a good redemption story.
I agree. I think it's unfortunate because the question of Vic, it was never a question of his talent. It was never a question of his execution. It was never the dude was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson arrived onto the scene.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point.
Let's keep it a bean. Like Michael Vick was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson arrived.
Right.
It really just speaks to your circle, honestly. Like I said a few minutes ago about Kurt, this is deeper than football. It's deeper than what we see, on the TV. And it's about who you keep around your circle. And nobody around Michael Vick's circle at the time held him accountable to the decisions that he was making that caused Michael Vick to not reach like Chris said, the plateau that it was supposed to reach. Because a lot of people don't know, like Chris said, Michael Vick was the best thing going in the NFL, bigger than Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And the NFL weren't gonna do none of that, and I think it just speaks to the circle you keep. And I hate it for Vic, but I do think his redemption story, I love it. And I know he's gonna do great things at Norfolk State because he's the head coach in down there now. So I'm very up there because he's in Virginia, but I'm happy for him. And I really wish he had a better circle, people that would hold him accountable. And it's like prime example, and I'm gonna shut up. It's like John Morant. A few years ago, the stuff that happened with John Morant and the gun situation, all of these different, the dude got suspended like 2 to 3 times in one season because he had a gun. And we were asking ourselves, okay, who is around Ja that is going to hold this dude accountable? Who is around Ja?
Sad part about that, his parents was around and they weren't telling him what to do.
They weren't telling him anything. They weren't doing anything about
because they were dependent on him. Like, man, exactly. How can you do that? But here's the thing about Michael Vick, right? And I have to, in the spirit of holding him accountable, Michael Vick was the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. Michael didn't study the playbook. And you know what I mean? Michael probably should have had, Falcons probably should have had 2 Super Bowls. Okay. Now, with that being said, Michael Vick is the most enigmatic figure I've ever seen in my life. Okay. I can remember at least
I put him right up there with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders there too.
You know what? I would say, I no disrespect to Deion, I would say even more so than Deion. Now, I love me some Deion, and I don't mean any disrespect, but Michael Vick did stuff at least 10 times where I was like, how the hell did he do that? He ran through 2 dudes in Minnesota that hit each other. You know how fast you got to be running to do that? Yeah. I ain't seen that happen since then.
Yeah.
Scrambles out to the left side, runs. He's on. These 2 dudes are converging, and he's so quick. They hit each other. The game against the Panthers, it's 4th and 20 again. 4th and 20. This dude scrambles from the 20, jumps from the 5-yard line. If I had never seen it, I wouldn't believe it. Jumps from the 5-yard line and scores and puts the ball over. Michael Vick drops back, just flicks his wrist, and it's 70 yards.
You're right.
People, no disrespect to Penix, because Penix has a great arm.
Of course.
But Michael Vick I believe Michael Vick could throw that thing 100 yards. Like, yeah, there was nothing.
Michael Vick was in line with Armstrong. Michael Vick was in line with Marino, Elway, Brett Favre, and those type guys.
That man,
and he was left-handed,
throwing the ball and knocking people back like legit. The man was throwing the ball in the stands from like the 40. Like Vick was different. He was just all the way different athlete, man. And the crazy thing about it is his brother was too, but both of them just got into stuff, man.
Marcus was a $1 million athlete with a 10-cent head. I'll go ahead and say that. Marcus, you know how you always got that dumb one in the that was Marcus. Okay, that was because Michael at least had some swag about himself where he would try and keep out of stuff, even though it ultimately got him right. But Marcus was that troubled youth. But Michael Vick did stuff I'd never seen anybody do before. Weekly. He's dropping back. Oh God, it's a sack. 15. Oh, wait a minute. He shook the guy. Oh, wait a minute. He threw it. Oh, holy shit. Roddy White, touchdown. 60. Who does that on a regular basis? Wait a minute. It's a sack. Oh no. Damn. He juked out the whole team. Shit, he ran it for 60 yards and a touchdown. Every
game.
Phenomenal. Okay. And all he had to do was study that damn playbook, because the team that gave us the most trouble was the Eagles.
You're right.
Goddamn Philadelphia Eagles. If he'd have just studied for blitz protections, we'd have gone to the Super Bowl, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think making it more serious. That's all.
I think his career was a success, but also a failure, because honestly, he should probably have 2 or 3 Super Bowls. Like I absolutely love the guy, but I gotta hold him accountable. If he'd have just studied,
and he would have probably been the first ballot Hall of Famer.
No doubt about it. Yeah. Well, you still could argue that he does belong in the Hall of Fame because he did change the game. He to your point, Smitty. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Jalen Hurts. There's no who's the new guy, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
None of them are in the league without Michael Vick. None of them.
I agree.
And let me tell you something. When that story came out about those dogs, I probably shouldn't admit this to y'all.
You ain't cry like a baby, did you?
I cried real tears, man. Yes, the hell I did. I sure did.
It shook the city for sure.
That shit hurt my soul, man. That shit hurt my soul. Like and then the year after that, Bobby Petrino's stupid ass. It was a tough time for Falcon fans, man. Hate that guy. I can't stand his ass. I do, man. I hate Bobby, but I can't stand him.
Nah, it was that right there. That was terrible because we was already going through it with Vic, and then you just pretty much just threw crap on top of it.
Yeah.
You just, I mean, bro, I can't stand that dude, man. Man, I ain't gonna say nothing, but I really don't like him. I don't like what he's about. But whatever.
So would y'all have Michael Vick as a top 2 quarterback at Falcons history behind Matty Ice?
The top 2, he would have to be.
No, I would say number 3 because I would put Barkowski before him.
Yeah, I forgot about Barkowski. Yeah, I forgot about Barkowski. Yeah, I forgot about Steve. My bad, Steve. My bad.
But he's definitely top 5. Definitely might as well say the top 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely I can say if you want to go top 3, it'd be Matty, Bart, and then Vic. Yeah,
makes sense.
Hey man, Smitty, we know you got a role, man. Tell these folks where they can find you, and hey man, we appreciate you joining us, brother. We really do.
No doubt, man. Y'all find me on Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. As always, man, I'm still dropping off-season videos, man. Y'all can go to NFC South Roundtable on YouTube as well. Check out my latest 2 drops, Falcon draft needs and my season in review for the Atlanta Falcons. So y'all go check those 2 videos out on NFC South Roundtable. I'm always around talking Falcon football, no matter with these guys or with somebody in the Falcon community. But trust me, y'all gonna always see my face somewhere, even if it's out in public.
All right,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Well, hey, as always, man, we appreciate you, Smitty. You're one of the most humble, gracious people that I've ever met. You're genuine, and hey, man, I just love being around you. So, hey, thank you, and we appreciate you. And
No problem.
man, enjoy your weekend, bro. Enjoy your Super Bowl. Oh, guys, Smitty, before you go, who you got in the Super Bowl?
I got chicken wings. That's what I got.
Oh shit, you got
Can't
Eagles.
go wrong with that.
You got them Eagles.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Eagles, man. I think Saquon gonna be the difference in the game, man.
All right, give me a score.
He been on another level the whole season.
Yeah.
I think it's still gonna be a close game, but I got to take the Eagles 24-17.
That's what's up. Okay. All right. I see you.
Eagles.
Cam. Well, first off, tell these folks where they can find you because we're about to roll.
Yeah,
so
we
tell
got to
them
wrap
where
it
they
up,
can
man.
find
You.
And then give us your score and your prediction.
Yeah. No, first of all, I appreciate you and Chris for having me on, man. You guys can find me on Instagram at Go Time PC, GOTIME PC on Instagram, and you guys can find me on TikTok if you still have it on Go Time TV. So literally Go Time TV. I do a little bit of obviously Falcons coverage, and I dabble with Hawks as well, while also dabbling in NBA coverage as well. So yeah. But my pick, I have the Eagles winning, man. Obviously, the Eagles are looked at as the all-around better team, than Kansas City. But I think, obviously you got to come ready to play. You don't know what Patrick Mahomes is going to do. You don't know what Travis Kelce is going to do, what those guys are going to do. Isaiah Pacheco, he's playing. He's going to be a very big difference maker for them. Chris Jones, the defense, Kansas City Chiefs defense. But I'm going to be real, man. I think this is the year that Philly gets it done for the second time in 8 years, I believe. And I think they get it done. Obviously the D-line with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. You look at the linebackers and Nolan Smith and Kobe Dean. Those guys played at Georgia. Those dudes knows what it takes to play at a high level, play on the biggest stage of them all. So, and thankfully they're all still on the same team, man. And so I think they're out for some retribution, some redemption. But similar to what Smitty said, man, what the Eagles didn't have 2 years ago, they didn't have Saquon, and Saquon has just been running lights out. Over 2,000 rushing yards he's rushed for this season. So I have them score. Oh man, I'm gonna take Philly 30-27. 30-27.
Another close game.
Close game.
All right.
I feel like it'd be disrespectful to Kansas City, because this is Kansas City. This is still Kansas City. Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, 30-10. Like, this is still Kansas City. They know what they got their hands. They know what they have built.
And
for
the
them,
refs would be offended if you because the refs are a part of Kansas City as well. I'm just saying they'd be offended if you made that.
Hey, I'll put it like this to you, Will. There's just no way you see that pass interference against Kyle Pitts and you don't call that.
Damn it, I'm still upset about it. That was sexual harassment. That was sexual harassment. That was awful. Okay,
hey,
that man was indignant and indecent to Kyle. Not only should have been a penalty, he should have gone to jail. And the ref right there and does nothing. He's just like,
and it's crazy because they had just got that call like a week before, a week after against the Bengals or something. I was like,
it's crazy, man. That pisses me. Every time I think about that, man, it pisses me off. But whatever, three cheat.
Three cheaters. Crazy. Hey, get that trademark. Pat Riley got that trademark, and he's earning his bag. He's earning his bag this year, or the Super Bowl.
I think my brother My brother coined that phrase. My
Oh,
brother,
really?
Eric Parker. Yeah, Eric Parker
Okay.
coined that phrase.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, who
Yeah.
you got, man? Who you got? And hey, Cam, man, up and comer, man, appreciate it. And let me tell you something. You're gonna be awesome in this business, man. You are
Thank
gonna
you.
be a force to reckon with. And I'm just glad I got to work with you when you were coming up, man. So when you get all big and tall and big in this game, man, you won't forget about little old T. Will, man.
Nah,
Okay.
man. Nah,
Okay.
I'll keep it like this, man. I never forget where I come from,
That's
and
what's up.
I always appreciate those that have helped me,
Yeah.
get to where I aspire to be. So if I accept an award one day, whether it's a sports Emmy or something, I'm always make sure I give my flowers to you
That's
guys
what's up.
because you all let me on your platform. You didn't have to do that, and
Yeah.
I learned not only from you all as Falcons fans, but also as genuine football fans. And I'll
Right.
not only learn from you guys, I learned from Smitty, I learned from Berto,
Right.
even the community, Falcons community. And so
Right.
I don't count this a small thing, Bren, and I really do appreciate y'all. So my mom and pops, they've always taught me to always count my blessings, to
All
don't
right.
forget, to never forget where I come from. Because there
That's
was
what's
one
up.
point in time I wanted to, be where others are at, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I enjoy where I'm at now because I may never get, another opportunity like this again. So I always take, bits and pieces. I'm always grateful for this
Mhm.
opportunity. So yeah, man, I ain't never gonna forget y'all. And I take this very seriously. So if I'm taking something very seriously, I will never forget you guys for sure.
I just think you're going to be a dynamic force in this business, man. I really do, and I can't
Thank you.
wait to see what you do next, man. I'm really impressed with just how you present, how you carry yourself. You're very articulate, and hey, man, you are blessed to be doing it at
Oh,
such a
you
young
been.
age. So I think you're going to be all right.
Thank
Chris,
you.
give me
Thank
your
you, Zula. I
picks, man.
appreciate it.
No problem. Give me your
Yeah.
picks, man. Who you got?
Hey,
And
man.
tell us where they can find you.
Oh, well, we already know A1 Forever Sports. That's the platform on YouTube. Please always come over and like, comment, subscribe. So love interacting with everybody, man. Saying continuously growing this channel. It's my baby, and I got to keep on, saying striving with it. Twitter, A1 Forever, Instagram, A1 Forever. TikTok, I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of those people that deleted it. So yeah,
Oh,
there's that.
you ain't getting that back, bro.
Yeah, that's not happening. So it
You ain't
just
getting that back. Damn. Oh
it
my.
was one of them things. I was on a delete spree, and I was just like deleting apps and stuff, and I was just like,
Oh man,
it
no,
kind of happened.
Chris,
It kind of just happened.
no.
It's crazy because it happened before the ban even happened. I was just like,
Oh
oh, they about to ban this.
man.
I had needed
Oh
some space,
no.
man. I needed some space. I was trying to make some videos. I needed
Damn,
some
Chris.
space.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
I hate
But
that for you.
yeah, it's all good, man. I ain't tripping. I can still like get on TikTok, but I can't
Yeah.
post on it. So that's the only thing I can't do. I can't post. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. But yeah, oh yeah, and of course the Hawks Digest, man. Come on over to the Hawks Digest and type it in YouTube, and the page will come right up, man. Me and Walter Pollard over there doing our thing, growing that channel. We're getting closer to 1,000 subs, man, and we talk about all Hawks news, no matter how big, how small. We cover it all over there at Hawks Digest. So that's just another platform that I'm on, and just working on a few other things behind the scenes, man. Staying busy. But that's where you guys can all find me for sure. As far as the Super Bowl goes, I am definitely going with the off season. I'm going with the off season for the win. I'm ready to get to the off season. I've been over the playoffs. To be honest with you, I've only watched a fine total of 3/4 of the playoffs total. I've been waiting on the off season. I'm ready. I was ready to see what the Falcons are going to do, what the Falcons moves they're going to make. Now this Kirk Cousins mess don't happen, so I'm really, really ready to get to the offseason to see what happens now. And yeah, man, I choose the offseason for the win. I hope they both lose or they tie for the first time in Super Bowl history. No winner.
Damn, Chris. That
no,
most petty shit ever, Chris. Wow, that's petty
and I'm not.
to me.
That's crazy, and I'm not even a Scorpio.
That man, you are petty
Wow.
Eddie today, bro.
Wow.
Golly, man.
And I'm not
That's
even a
crazy
Scorpio.
word,
Ain't
twin.
that something?
My man, I hope
Nah,
they both lose.
I hope they both lose.
I hope they both lose.
But honestly, as much as the Eagles really do have everything going for them, man, I say you got to, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite wrestlers used to say that. His name is Ric Flair. And it's the truth. It's the truth. If you want
A
that
nature boy.
ring, you're going to have to beat the Chiefs because they're going to have the refs. They're going to have the fan base. I mean, Philly fans travel too, but it's going to be neck and neck on that fan base in there. The Chiefs, man, they have a chance to make history. Honestly, it's going to be very, very hard to go against them because everybody wants them to lose. Like I feel like it's that time, like when the Braves was going against the Astros, and how the America wanted the Braves to win. I feel like America wants the Eagles to win, but I just feel like Pat is so much of the golden child right now. He's looking like Eddie Murphy, and I just don't know if the Eagles winning. I think they want Pat to get. I think Pat's going to get that third ring in a row history, and then we'll see what happens from then. Because everything is set up for really the Eagles to win. But just when you think, what I'm saying, that the good guy is finally going to, emerge. Not saying that the Chiefs are bad guys, but I'm just saying the good guys are going to emerge. Next thing you know, he just get cuts down at the knees, and the bad guy still runs off in the sunset. I don't want to, at the end of the day, like I said, I want them both to lose. I'm not rooting for either one of them, but I think the Chiefs may end up taking it, man, unfortunately. And I think it's going to be very close. Like when I say close, I'm talking about 24-23, that close. I really do.
Well, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to come down to the last possession. I think the Eagles will get the ball. I think in true Chiefs fashion, Steve Spagnuolo will send a blitz of the free safety on the left side coming for Jalen Daniels, and Jalen will give him the head fake, step up, and a pass to AJ. That's a touchdown for 65 yards, and the crowd is going to go wild, and the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl 34-31. You heard it right here. Boom. There you go. Hey guys, to everyone in the chat who joined us, we thank you. You could have been doing anything you wanted to do on this Saturday, and you chose to give us your time, which is the one constant that is irreplaceable. It is the one commodity you can't replace. So we enjoy doing this. We do this for you. We love to talk Falcons with you. And you just make it so better when you guys show up. So thank you so much to everyone who joined in. Couldn't really get to everyone in the chat. Apologize for that. But thank you all for joining us. We truly appreciate it. And we thank you for your patronage and watching this with us. Secondly, I can be reached at the number 4, my ATL Sports, the number 1 on YouTube. As you can see right here up under me, there's the link. If you would please like, subscribe, and share, or like, share, and subscribe, however you want to do it. I greatly appreciate it. It will make the algorithm see this channel more and allow us to bring you more great content like this. So again, the number 4, my ATL Sports, the number 1 on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe, or just click the link right here and like, share, and subscribe. I want to thank everybody on this panel. Want to thank Smitty. Guys, I'm sorry I got a bad cold and my voice has just had enough. I guess that's God's way of telling me I've been talking too much. So hey, really appreciate you guys. I want to thank God because wouldn't be here without him. Appreciate him. I want to thank you, Chris, because you're always there for me, man. And brother, I have so much respect for you. So I want to thank you. I want to wish you good luck with Hawks Digest. I know you're over there killing it.
Yes, sir.
Cam, hey man, you keep kicking ass and taking names. You hear me? And
Yes, sir.
anytime you want to come back on this channel, all you got to do is hit me up, brother, and we will make that thing happen.
Say less.
Hey man, last but not least, I want to thank Mr. Jack Spade and my brother, Mr. Eric Parker, for giving me and starting this business. You guys, everyone within the sound of my voice, have a great Saturday. Enjoy tomorrow. Enjoy your Super Bowl. Stay safe. Have a good time. And this is the one time I'm going to say it. Go Eagles. See you guys on Monday.